Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our regular meeting of council. I'll start with the land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we live, work, and gather on the traditional and unceded territory of the Algonquin people, specifically the Temiskaming First Nation. We recognize the presence of the Temiskaming First Nation in our community since time immemorial and honor their long history of welcoming many nations to this beautiful territory and uphold and uplift their voice and values. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 4:07. Roll call, please.
Good afternoon, Your Worship. All members of council are present. I'll note that Councillor Foley and Councillor Whalen are joining virtually.
Thank you. This is item 4, review of revisions or deletions to the agenda. Seeing none, move on to approval of the agenda. I do have a resolution in front of me. Be it resolved that City Council approves the agenda as printed. Could I get a mover, please? Councillor Wilson, seconded by Councillor Ducharme. Discussion? All in favor? That motion is carried. Is there any disclosure or pecuniary interest in general nature? Seeing none. Item 7, we do not have any public meetings pursuant to the Planning Act, Municipal Act, and other statutes. Takes us to item 8, review and adoption of the council minutes. I do have a resolution in front of me. Be it resolved that City Council approves the following minutes as printed. A, the Committee of the Whole meeting held on July the 9th, 2024, and B, the regular council meeting held on July the 9th, 2024. Can I get a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor Graydon. Seconded by Councillor Peltier-Levin. Discussion? All in favor? That motion is carried. We don't have any delegations or presentations. Item 10, correspondence and communication. So 10A, from the Temiskaming Local Forest Management Corporation. Read the draft letter for nomination for board members for the Temiskaming Local Forest Management Corporation. And we do have a motion presented under section 14 under new business later on. Item B, from Carrie Hanselman, the clerk for the municipality of East Ferris. Read the regulations for lithium-ion batteries. That was received for information. C, for Shunian Liu, the coordinator for the Temiskaming Drug and Alcohol Strategy for the Temiskaming Health Unit. Read the proclamation for International Overdose Awareness Day. And there is a motion presented under section 14 under new business. Item D, from Virginia Montamy, the clerk for the Township of Evangeral. Read the resolution of support for the shortage of physician care and access to physician care. That was received for information. Item E, the Temiskaming Foundation. Read the Temiskaming Foundation Annual Report for 2023, sharing in the growth of our community. That was received for information. Item F, James Leduc, the mayor, the town of Brantford, West Gwillimbury, and read the resolution of support for long service medals. That was received for information. Item G, from Hugo Rive, the committee member for North on Tap Craft Beer Festival. Read the thank you for city's contribution to support Family Night and media release. That was received for information. And item H, from Charla Robinson, the president of Thunder Bay Chamber of Commerce. Read the request for resolution of support. And that was support they set aside for Northern Ontario within the OINP. And that was received for information. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Wilson, seconded by Councillor Ducharme. That resolution is be it resolved that Council for the City of Temiskaming Shores agrees to deal with communication items 10A through H in accordance with the agenda of references. Discussion? Councillor Ducharme?
If possible, I'd like to see item H come back.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Councillor Peltier-Levin?
I was thinking about if we could see the one about the lithium-ion batteries.
Okay, item B. Thank you. Any other? Okay, we do have a resolution in front of us. All in favor? And that motion is carried. It takes us to item 11, Committees of Council, Community and Regional. I do have a resolution in front of me. Be it resolved, the following minutes be accepted for information. A, the minutes from the District of Temiskaming Social Services Administration Board meeting held on June the 19th, 2024. Can I get a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor Graydon. Second by Councillor Ducharme. Discussion? All in favor? That motion is carried. Takes us to item 12, reports by members of council. Does anybody have any reports they'd like to share? Councillor Wilson?
Thank you, Mayor. Just very briefly, and I didn't submit a written report, but I just wanted to report on the, as a member of the BIE committee, I wanted to report on the block party in July that went very, very well, and it was well attended, and everybody was very, very happy with how it turned out. The weather cooperated, and I'd like to thank Public Works and Recreation for their assistance on that, on those efforts. They were very, all the staff was great, helped us out tremendously. So it was a good event, and looking forward to one next year. Thanks.
Thanks, Councillor Wilson. Did you know? No. Okay. Thanks, everyone. That takes us to item 13, notice of motions. And once again, I'll turn that over to Councillor Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. Just before I read the motion, I'm involved with or I'm a member of the Planet Youth Steering Committee, which is, a committee that's looking at reducing the harms of drug and alcohol abuse in our youth in particular, and that's where this resolution is, this motion is coming from. Regarding the provincial decision regarding alcohol sales in convenience stores and locations that sell fuel to drivers, and the development of a comprehensive provincial alcohol strategy. Whereas excessive consumption of alcohol has a negative impact on many communities because of detrimental health effects, road safety, and other harms, and whereas the number of cases of individuals driving under the influence are increasing in Ontario, and the Temiskaming District has recently seen its highest rate ever for impaired driving infractions, with 10 in April of 2024, and whereas jurisdictions with broader access to alcohol have higher rates of driving under the influence and crashes associated with alcohol, and whereas alcohol causes at least 7 types of cancer and is a risk factor for disease, disability, and premature death, and is a direct cause of 4,300 deaths and 195,000 emergency department visits per year in Ontario, and whereas alcohol-related emergency department visits increased 18% after the introduction of alcohol sales in grocery stores in Ontario, and whereas 35% of youth in grades 10 and 11 in Temiskaming District have indicated they have consumed alcohol at 13 years or younger, and whereas 49% of youth in grades 10 and 11 in the Temiskaming District have been drunk at least once in their life, and whereas alcohol-related harms cost the Ontario economy $7 billion a year, and whereas alcohol is a factor in many domestic, sexual, and physical assaults in Ontario. And whereas most tax revenue generated by the sale of alcohol goes to the province, yet the costs and harms that are alcohol-related are borne by the municipalities in the form of policing and social services and public health costs. Therefore, be it resolved that the Council, the City of Temiskaming Shores, requests the Government of Ontario reverse their decision to allow alcohol to be sold in more locations and implement the following recommendations. Permit municipalities to opt out of retail alcohol expansion. Number 2, grant municipalities the power to use zoning to determine where new alcohol retail locations are acceptable. 3, not permit alcohol sales within 150 meters of schools, daycares, or substance use facilities. 4, prohibit the sales of alcohol at gas stations. 5, require health warning labels on all alcohol containers. 6, dedicate a portion of provincial alcohol revenue to addressing alcohol-related harms. 7, develop and implement a a comprehensive provincial alcohol strategy in partnership with municipalities that prioritizes health and safety and considers the costs associated with alcohol consumption. Further, that a copy of this resolution be provided to the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Sylvia Jones, Deputy Premier and Minister of Health, the Honourable Doug Downey, Attorney General, the Honourable Prabmeet Sarkaria, Minister of Transportation, John Vantoff, MPP, Temiskaming Cochrane, AMO, Phenom, Roma, Temiskaming Municipal Association, Temiskaming Health Unit, Planet Youth Temiskaming, Temiskaming Shores OPP Detachment Board, and all Ontario municipalities.
Thanks, Councillor Wilson. And that item will be added to the agenda for our meeting in September. Takes us to item 14, new business. So 14A, the Temiskaming Local Forest Management Corporation, nomination for the board membership for Temiskaming Local Forest Management Corporation. And I do have a resolution in front of me, whereas at the September 15th, 2020 regular meeting, Council of the City of Temiskaming Shores endorsed the establishment of a local forest management corporation for the Temiskaming Management Unit for the purpose of managing the Temiskaming Management Unit from the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry. And whereas Jeff Barton has been a director of the Temiskaming Forest Management Corporation over the past 3 years through endorsement from the City of Temiskaming Shores, the Town of Latchford, and the Township of James. However, the term of the appointment will be expiring in 2024. Be it resolved that Council for the City of Temiskaming Shores hereby endorses Jeff Barton to represent the city as a director on the Temiskaming Forest Management Corporation for an additional term, and further that Council authorizes the Mayor to send a letter to Faye Johnson, Chair of the Temiskaming Forest Management Corporation, indicating the City of Temiskaming Shores' ongoing support for Jeff Barton's candidacy. Can I get a mover, please? It's Councillor Graydon. My Councillor Pelche-Levin. Discussion? All in favor?
Oh, sorry. I'm just, I think this might have been endorsed by the last council. So do we have any background information on this person, or do we know them?
Yeah, I believe the bio and everything was part of the letter that we initially got. And it gave the background that Jeff Barton had in dealing with forest managery over the last number of years. So, we can forward you his bio again, and it just gives you all of the history, that he has had in from a forest, management perspective. And when it was discussed at the previous council, just the expertise and the knowledge needed, for that, when he came and did a full presentation, to council, on it. That's where we had moved forward with it. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions or concerns?
If I may, Mayor, just quickly, I've known Jeff for a great number of years now. He's always been a very environmentally conscious member of the forest management teams across the north, so I think he's a very, very wise choice for this council.
Thanks, Councillor Whalen. Any other comments? Councillor Ducharme?
As this individual seems from the bylaw represents the city, does he have any communication back to the city from his meetings, or does he connect or communicate with us in any way?
Yeah, and I can actually ask him to come in and do a presentation, at a future council meeting to just, share, what's happening and he has in the past as well, Councillor Ducharme. Okay. So I'll include that in the letter, back to him if that's, what the decision is. Shelley?
I believe he does get in touch with James Frank's direct deb quite a bit as well.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, we do have a resolution in front of us. All in favor? And that motion is carried. Item B, the proclamation for International Overdose Awareness Day. I do have a resolution in front of me, whereas Council for the Corporation of the City of Temiskaming Shores acknowledges the harm and hardship caused by the drug poisoning overdose crisis, and whereas the purpose of International Overdose Awareness Day is to remember loved ones lost to drug poisoning and to end the stigma of substance use and mental health. And whereas drug poisoning in Temiskaming claimed the lives of more than 9 residents last year, together with countless more affected forever. Therefore, be it resolved, the Council for the City of Temiskaming Shores hereby proclaims August 31st, 2024 as International Overdose Awareness Day in the City of Temiskaming Shores. Can I get a mover, please? It's Councillor Ducharme, seconded by Councillor Wilson. Discussion? All in favor? That motion is carried. Maybe, just I know we approved the agenda, but I wouldn't mind just moving maybe the Q&A question up before we pass the bylaws, just because there was a recommendation done at the Committee of the Whole, and just so we do have the opportunity to hear, the folks. So we'll start with the Q&A then. So if you want to just, you can step up to the mic, give your name, your number, and your address, just so we, just the name's fine.
Hi, I'm Sheldon Christo. I'm the owner-operator of Fast and Courteous Express Delivery Service. We've been doing it for about 2 years in the area. We're currently under contract with Walmart for delivering pharmaceuticals, Guardian drugs, as well as do Walmart grocery deliveries and Petals Flowers and various other deliveries in town. Just the cast of the bag. We're recently putting a couple of vehicles together for a taxi service. We see a need in the area for it. We're not here to compete with Brenda by any stretch. We're here to help and serve our citizens of the community a little better, right? Provide some more transportation for them. It raises my concern when you were mentioning Uber coming in. I've been doing the delivery service for a couple of years in the area now. DoorDash has come in the area the last few months, maybe a year or so. They don't pay their drivers very much. They're a corporation. The corporation collects a lion's share of the money and pieces off their drivers. I'm worried about that happening with Uber as well, if it's accepted in the area. Many drivers with Uber do it as a part-time job, and they don't have as much invested as perhaps Brenda and myself would have. I recently bought several vehicles, and the insurance is expensive on them. And I'm just a little concerned with that you're considering Uber's even on the table, that's all. Because Brenda is doing her best with her business and stuff like that. And I'm sure she'd be willing to be open more hours and stuff like that, because there is a need after hours, after 10 o'clock. The city doesn't go to sleep. People don't go to sleep. There's many people go to the hospital on the transit and can't get home at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 in the morning.
Right.
Okay? There's, like you said, the bus comes in at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I'm willing to work any hours that need be and provide a service to our community. However, I'm just a little concerned with corporations like Uber and stuff like that coming in. My question is, are they going to, if they do come in, are they going to have set rates like we have, or the taxi business has to follow? And who's going to police them if they do show up and do conduct business in our area? That's all.
Okay, thanks for your question. Shelley, maybe just if you could share.
So we haven't heard from Uber to date, so I can say that they aren't coming in right now. They aren't. So the bylaw that is up for adoption tonight would regulate businesses like Uber. So they would be regulated just like any other taxi service within the municipality. And the enforcement would be through our bylaw officer. So similarly, I think you've been speaking to him about your business, so Uber would have to do the same. Yep.
Gotta give me what I need for the vehicles and stuff like that, the meters and the rates and all that type of thing. And I actually got 2 vehicles going to Toronto on Thursday to get the new up-to-date meters installed, GPS track and everything else as well. So we plan on combining and set up a more concern our community. We're concerned with the that's what I want to be.
Right.
We're concerned okay, the corporation like Uber and see if they do it DoorDash. Probably doing my business with their deliveries and stuff, and that is object of
Yeah. Right. No, that's awesome. So I think Shelley did answer, that, and I appreciate the question, and I do appreciate the service you're providing to the community. And, this isn't, intended to stop competition, from coming in. It is a service that we need to provide to the community. I think you're providing a service. I know there's parts, today we're not providing public transportation, and there isn't a taxi available at certain times. And I think, sometimes that may create an opportunity for somebody else to come in. But what's important to us is that the service is there, to support, the ratepayers. So we don't want to prevent anybody, but at the same time, we want to make sure that it's a fair and competitive landscape. And I think that's, back to what Shelley's, comment was. If anybody else decides to come in, they got to follow the same rules. And I think that we'll.
I just hope the town and its folks recognize the investment that the local people have, rented themselves with their equipment and taxi, and myself. And it's
For sure.
Difficult sometimes when a corporation comes in, right? And I understand there's competition. I get it. But it's got to be like a level playing field for everybody.
Agreed. Yeah, and we're in agreement, absolutely.
And we're small businesses. I believe if we look after our small businesses in our community grows.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have any questions, comments? Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. Thanks, Mayor. So just to clarify, Shelley, basically with this bylaw, any service, whether it's a larger corporate one or a smaller one, as you were saying, Jeff, has this bylaw that to follow. So I think that's what we're trying to do, is modernize it and make it equal to everybody, right? That's
Perfect.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify that.
Any other comments? No. Okay, so that takes us to item 15 then, bylaws. I do have a resolution in front of me. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2024-090, being a bylaw to appoint a fire prevention officer for the city of Temiskaming Shores, Jocelyn Plante. Bylaw number 2024-091, being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 2022-167 to appoint a deputy mayor, council committees, and council representatives to boards and committees for the November 15th, 2022 to November 14th, 2026 term of council, and that's for the OPP Detachment Board. Bylaw number 2024-092, being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 2022-185 to appoint community representatives to various committees of the board for the 2022 to 2026 term of council, and again, that's for the OPP Detachment Board. Bylaw number 2024-093, being a bylaw to enter into an agreement with Don Ad's Head Trucking Limited for the supply, mixing, and stockpiling of winter sand in various locations within the city of Temiskaming Shores. Bylaw number 2024-094, being a bylaw to enter into an agreement with M&G Fencing, Inc. for the installation of fencing at various city locations. Bylaw number 2024-095, being a bylaw to enter into an agreement with Miller Paving Limited for the repair of the Pete's Dam Bridge. Bylaw number 2024-096, being a bylaw to designate any plan of subdivision or part thereof that has been registered for 8 years or more, which shall be deemed as not a registered plan of subdivision, which is 331 Marcella Street. Bylaw number 2024-097, being a bylaw to regulate and license vehicles for hire. Bylaw number 2024-098, being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 2012-039, a bylaw to adopt schedules of departmental user fees and services for the city of Temiskaming Shores. Schedule E, the planning, bylaw, and building services vehicle for hire. Bylaw number 2024-099, being a bylaw to enter into an agreement with Pedersen Construction, 2013 Inc., for the repair of the LaRock Sadler Heon Municipal Drain. bylaw number 2024-100, being a bylaw to repeal bylaw number 2022-132 to appoint Amy Vickery as city manager for the city of Temiskaming Shores, be hereby introduced and given first, second, and third, and final reading be signed by the mayor and clerk and the corporate seal affixed thereto. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Wilson, seconded by Councillor Pelche-Leving. Discussion? All in favor? The motion is carried. Takes us to schedule of council meetings. We do have a committee of the whole meeting scheduled for September the 3rd, 2024, starting at 3 p.m. And B, a regular council meeting scheduled for September the 17th, 2024, starting at 6 p.m. Takes us to item 18, closed session. I do have a resolution. Be it resolved, the council agrees to convene in closed session at, I'll say, 4:45 to discuss the following matters. A, the adoption of the July 9th, 2024 closed session minutes. And B, under section 239, 2D of the Municipal Act 2001, labor relations, the employee negotiations, city manager recruitment process update. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Graydon. Seconded by Councillor Pelche-Leving. Discussion? All in favor? And we're going into closed session. Thanks, everybody.